Yo, peace to the gods, peace to the earths, peace to all the righteous families on the planet Earth. This your man, King FatherAllah, coming to you on this Wisdom Equality Day of February. You know, we're getting close to the end of Black History. But on my social media, you know, we strive to study and practice Black History 365, 24/7. That's all day, every day, all year. You know, until I'm in the ground. So I just want to get at y'all real quick. You know, this is gonna be a real brief video, but I've been watching some things I shared on my Facebook. Everybody don't have access to my Facebook because, you know, I'm a private person and I got haters, right? And so, you know, they tell me if I'm trying to build something, you know, it's good to have followers. You know, but I don't accept everybody. But if you wanted to get on my Facebook and you know, send a friend request, and I'm able to check you out, and you cool, and you know somebody, then you know. But and so I was watching, so you know, this new information about Malcolm X killer. You know, Malcolm, my man, Malcolm, like, you know, my uncle I had adopted. You know what I'm saying? And so I just, you know, I just want to strive, and you know, let knowledge be born. You know, I'm a 5%er. You know, this is my universal flag right here. One of them. You know, that's the 7, the star. I mean, the 7, the star, and the moon and the sun. And this means something. You know, this means, you know, basically, you know, I'm about the true holy trinity of man, woman, and child. You know, about procreation and building and making through my woman, you know, the start of new life through our children, right? Basically. But this is a universal flag, and this is the flag of the nation and gods of earth, nation of gods and earths, founded by FatherAllah, formerly known as Allah the Father and Allah's 5% nation. You know, it's an elder god over there that said when the Father died, that's when y'all gonna become the nation of gods and earths. So this flag was created in 1964 by Sham God, Universal Sham God. And so, you know, we not the Nation of Islam. That's all. You know, we not the Nation of Islam. You know, I am not a Muslim. You know, I don't know no Quran. You know, I believe Islam as I was taught or enlightened or read about or studied or researched is I means I self-lord and master, or I self-lord am master. You know, some people break it down even further for women to say, I sincerely love Allah's mathematics, right? I sincerely love Allah's mathematics. So when you join the nation of gods on earth, it's a self-taught, journey that you got to go on yourself. You know, you got to do the research, as I have, as everyone do their own research. You can go to the academies, reach out to an enlightener, but it's basically on you to do the knowledge, right? To get to research, and research meaning, and so in this order, and I find this order is best. You should learn the history of the founder of the nation of gods and earths, which is FatherAllah. You know, that's the name he kept. But, you know, he was also Allah the Father. And his name is, you know, his government name was Clarence 13X. Now, you know, while I'm doing this video, you know, I've seen some new things about Malcolm. Or some new things about Malcolm. And you know, like, it was an interview. It was a Good Morning America. I think, right? It was Good Morning America, right? And the newsman, black guy, or biracial, I don't know, light-skinned dude, guess you know, he can pass as African American. Open up the, he opened up the interview by saying, and it's Malcolm's birthday, I think, was February 22nd, right? So they were celebrating Malcolm X's birthday, and they were celebrating his birthday or his the day of his assassination. So they were celebrating Malcolm's life. Yeah. And so it was either the 21st, because, you know, he got killed on 7 days after the 14th, I think. So it was either the 21st or the 22nd. But they celebrating Malcolm's life, and the trending topic about Malcolm X is you know, that this police or FBI dude was a part of the hit squad that planned Malcolm's death, right? But the newscaster opened up and say Malcolm Little, right? And then he went Malcolm Little, Malcolm Man, Malcolm. And I was watching The Breakfast Club, and Ilyasha Shabazz, Malcolm X's third daughter, I think it's his third oldest daughter. She's the most out front one of them that speaks mostly about her father. The other ones choose not to respond no more, which is understandable. You know, he had 6 daughters, but she was on The Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne the God called him Malcolm Little. And, you know, and so I was talking to somebody about the founder of the 5% Nation. I was trying to show that, you know, he changed from Clarence Smith to Clarence 13X. And then, you know, I was watching the videos of the God just building. And somebody said, if you knew the father, you would never call him Clarence Smith, right? And it hit me today. If you knew Malcolm X, you would never call him Malcolm Little. You see what I'm saying? I say, oh, now I understand, right? And I'm just trying to show people, you know, that this man was in the Nation of Islam. He changed to Smith, or, you know, that was his government name. That was his ancestral lineage. Started in America, you know, through slavery. He was a Smith. But if you knew Malcolm X, you would never call him Malcolm Little. If you knew FatherAllah, you would never call him Clarence Smith. Never. If you knew me, you would never call me Raglan again. That's not my name. That's not their name. And so I understand now, right? I got upset when they did that, right? I was like, wow, that ain't, because Malcolm got a video that I put on my IG, and it's a viral, famous video that he and the news interviewer going back and forth about. That's not his name. He refused to say his name, man. He told that, man, his father does not know his name. So, Malcolm wasn't playing, man. Black people, the only ones that have to share a same last name with black people, sometimes even the first. And so I asked people, why is that? Why is black people the only people in the world that got to share the same last name as white people? That is because due to the transatlantic slave trade, when slavery ended, our ancestors, for simplification purpose and did not know no other name, took the name of their owner. You see? And so that's why we come to share the same last name as white people, because of slavery. And so if you accept that name, your name, you accept oppression. They didn't have no problem with good white people. And, if white people got a problem with you changing your name, then they racist. And someone needs to explain to them, the reason behind the name change. So, stop calling Malcolm X Malcolm Little like you done your homework. Malcolm was never Malcolm Little. And FatherAllah was never Clarence Smith. And I was never Raglan, and my father was never Raglan. So that's not our real name. It's white supremacy to accept that name. That's a form of abuse that we didn't accept it. That name is not freedom. That name does not represent freedom. That name does not represent knowledge of self. If you had knowledge of yourself, you know your origin. And your origin isn't some European Caucasian slave owner's name. Black civilization started before the Caucasian civilization. So that's all I'm saying. And then, and so, once again, we are not the Nation of Islam. You got some Nation of Islam people was talking about Malcolm X was some today's nation. Malcolm X is coming back to Nation. Malcolm was not coming back to Nation of Islam. They had Dr. Wesley Muhammad on some show, Do the Math, I think, right? On Facebook, Do the Math. And he was trying to build on the same thing Good Morning America was talking about Ray Wood killed or was part of the people. And they had Dr. Wesley said Ray Wood was a white man until the Good Morning America got Ray Wood as a black man that infiltrated Malcolm's new organizations, Muslim Mosque Incorporated and the Organization for African American Unity, the OAAU. And he wrote a deathbed letter saying that he was responsible. He was part of the hit team and all this other stuff. But the Nation of Islam up there make you think it's a white dude. And they just, man, Malcolm wasn't going back to the Nation of Islam if he had was building and working on those two organizations, he had no reason to go back to the Nation of Islam. And Faker Khan, the Nation of Islam leader, he ain't shit, man. That dude's so fake and two-faced. I don't think he graduated high school and talking about he's the leader of a nation. That dude is the reason, the cause behind Malcolm getting assassinated, I believe. And so you got to put it all together, right? It's a 60-minute interview with Mike Wallace and Atala Shabazz. That's the eldest. Atala Shabazz, that's the eldest Malcolm X's daughter. And she sat down with Farrakhan and Mike Wallace to listen to Farrakhan talk about how he didn't have nothing to do with Malcolm. But you got to put all the pieces together. So he say he was not directly involved in the killing of Malcolm X, but indirectly he was the match that lit that powder keg, right? He wrote a letter in the final call calling Malcolm a traitor, right? And then he went, so he rotated to New Jersey, and that's what they say, this new documentary on Netflix, that's where the killers come from. That particular mosque or temple was New Jersey. So he was around the people that did it. And his letter calling Malcolm a traitor sparked them to go against Elijah Muhammad's orders of don't nobody touch Malcolm to kill him. Now, if the leader was under impression that Malcolm was coming back to the Nation of Islam, then why did they kill him? And he could have stopped that, I think. But that's all I'm saying, man. That dude, he ain't transparent. He not honest. You know what I'm saying? He not honest. And he don't grow and they don't grow. So, so the nation of God is not the Nation of Islam. And FatherAllah left the Nation of Islam because of people like Faker Khan. And so I always wondered and asked, why didn't the Father write an enlightened version of the 120 like he wants us to be on the 120? He wants us to be enlightened, And I wonder, and so I had to search, and so I believe he didn't change it because he wanted us to know both sides or both ways or both interpretations of the 120, so you can make a decision about the Nation of Islam yourself. So he wasn't hating on the Nation of Islam. That's why he didn't change. He wanted people to see the differences and how you could read and study and learn the 120 from a different perspective, philosophy, and ideology. So, he was not hating on the Nation of Islam. He left, but he kept, and so when he left, he took his knowledge and the lessons, and he built on the lessons, and he added supreme mathematics and supreme alphabet. And, he said, these the building blocks, the keys to unlock our mind so we can have knowledge of ourselves, right? That's what he believed, and, I believe the same thing. So, yeah, he was not a hater. He just believed that, the knowledge should be given to people that aren't Muslim orientated, right? And so, Not today, we the nation of gods and earth. And, you know, if you knew him, you would not call him Clarence Smith. And you know, they was real adamant about that over there. And it hit me today when people call him Malcolm Little. If you knew Malcolm, you would never refer to him as Malcolm Little. And if you know me, and I open every video, my name King Louis is Allah, and I got a video on here, you know, the cognitive dissonance video, explaining that, you know, we remain grounded and humble, but, you know, but self-actualization and positive reinforcement of yourself is a good way to build self-esteem and, you know, and walk in an upright position and live in an upright position. So that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. You know, till next time, I'm out. Peace.